All right. Thanks everyone for joining the RentPay information session. Just a bit of housekeeping. You'll see on your screen there's a Q&A section. If you have any questions during the session, feel free to drop in your Q&A or your question there, and we'll get to it right at the end. Also, thanks to the people that have emailed through questions prior to the session. We'll also save those for the end and go through a bit of questions right at the end. So we are also recording the session, so I will distribute that recording. We'll have that available for everyone if you want to watch it afterwards. Also, I'll give you my contact details so you can get in touch with me right at the end of the session. Let's jump straight into it. Thank you so much for joining the RentPay session. I've met a few of you through the conferences that we've done recently, but if I haven't met you face to face, my name is Lavagna-Slater. I'm the General Manager of RentPay. And today I'm going to take you through just a bit about RentPay, its features, its benefits for the renter, as well as the agency. So RentPay is part of the rent.com.au group, and we're listed on the stock exchange. And essentially what we're a digital wallet that provides flexibility and choice for renters, and accuracy, certainty, and simplicity for agents when they're receipting those rents we collect for them. So RentPay has thousands of renters across the country, and we service hundreds of agencies across Australia. We process about $4 million in rent each week, and we've just crossed over $250 million in rent processed to date. So we're growing, we've got a groundswell behind us, and we're processing more and more rents each week. What are we solving? We're a dual-sided market, so we are solving for renters and for agents. For renters, we are providing flexibility and choice on how they pay their rent. We offer cashbacks and rewards for renters to keep paying their rent and earning cashbacks to put towards their rent. We also have a bunch of tools, reminders, notifications built into RentPay that keep renters up to date on their rent payments. And we have a feature that allows renters to improve their credit score by paying their rent. So we're really renter friendly, offer lots of choice and flexibility to renters, and we are seeing a lot of renters choosing RentPay as their preferred payment method. For agents, what we are solving is we deliver a single daily deposit of all rent payments into your trust account. Now, these are cleared in full payments, so there's never going to be a dishonor or a clawback, and there shouldn't ever be unknown funds because they're all clearly referenced, a huge benefit for agents. Each day that we deposit this single batch payment file into your trust account, it's accompanied by a pay file, which is an ABA file that's compatible across all property management systems. So we deliver that at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time every afternoon of all cleared payments. The pay file is available at 4:30 the next morning. You drag and drop that into your property management system, and there's auto reconciliation and auto receipts of all those funds. We have a dashboard that provides visibility of all payments, upcoming payments, scheduled, and a transaction history of all renters' payments. And this also includes rent, utilities, and bond payments, which is a really good feature for agents. So in a nutshell, agents, it's all about accuracy, certainty, and simplicity in running their processes. For renters, it's about flexibility and choice and cashback rewards. This is all underpinned by our Australian-based customer service team, which is based in Perth. They start at 6 a.m. Perth time and finish at 5 p.m. Perth time and service the whole of the country. And this customer service team deals with tenant queries. It also deals with agent queries, training, onboarding. We'll talk a bit more about the value proposition that they give to agents upcoming. So in a nutshell, that's what we're solving for renters and for agents. RentPay offers a huge amount of flexibility on how renters pay their rent, the utilities, and their bonds if they're paying the bonds to you. This is renters can pay by credit card, debit card, direct debit, BPay, PayID, Alipay, WeChat Pay, and Union Pay. And that provides them a lot of choice. And you would say, oh, why would want to provide choice? And we are seeing behavior of renters change from direct debit moving on to credit cards because of all the benefits of credit cards. Number one is the points that they get for the frequent flyer miles. Number two is we have the lowest credit card rates in the market at 0.99%. And we're really proud of that. So we don't make money off of moving money. We are renter friendly and we're an advocate for the renter. So by offering these low rates that we worked hard to negotiate, it really pushes the benefit onto the renter. So when a renter chooses to pay by the credit card, they pay that surcharge of 0.99%. And it's not for the agent, it's for the renter. We are seeing a shift of behavior. So when renters come onto RentPay, they generally choose direct debit because that's what they're familiar with. But slowly but surely, they migrate to PayID and credit cards because they see the additional benefits. We are at the forefront of the payments industry, so we focus on the upcoming and new payment methods. So Pay2 is going to come into the market and really be accepted this year. When that happens, we will integrate into RentPay, so that means the agents that use RentPay automatically offer that to their renters. So we are, taking up the arms race in the payments industry, and we build these features in so that you don't have to, and you can automatically offer them to your renters. I touched on this a bit earlier. We offer a lot of tools to the tenants and the renters. And these tools serve to help the renter to stay on track with their rent, to lower their arrears, to stay on budget. And we have features like Score Builder, which helps them build up their credit score. We have feedback from renters that once they finish renting, they want to be in a better position to potentially purchase a home. So credit scores is a big one. They want to use their rent money and their tenancy period to build up a good credit score. We have a buffer feature that allows them to pay a little bit extra into the RentPay wallet to stay on top of their rent, so that if they run into an emergency or an unforeseen circumstance arises, they can still cover their rent. And we see a lot of casual workers, shift workers, who potentially might not get shifts that they thought they were going to get. They build up a buffer in RentPay so that they know that they have peace of mind that their rent is covered if that happens. We have a bill smoothing product that allows you to pay your gas and electricity bills through Origin and to earn up to $5 cash back into your RentPay wallet that they can put towards their next RentPay or their next rental payment. So if you use Origin, or if you switch to Origin, you get that $5 cash back into your RentPay wallet. And that's per week. So that's really important, that it's a continuous buildup of $5. It may not sound hugely enticing, but over a period of time, that's $260 a year, and it all adds up. So we also have points hacking. We have a lot of renters who pay via credit card to earn frequent flyer miles. Interesting enough, we had a renter who uses RentPay that just flew to Bali on the points that they earned for renting over 12, 18 months. And the lowest credit card rates in the market helps the renter earn those points. All these tools and features that we have in RentPay allows a lower arrears rate. And we're very proud that RentPay users have a lower arrears rate than the market average. We've seen through our biggest agency partners that RentPay has reduced their arrears by up to 50%, which is phenomenal. So more ways to pay, more flexibility, more tools allow the renter to stay on track and pay their rent. For me, this is incredibly exciting, is our rewards program that we launched recently. This is through our partner PayLab. Our renters have access to this rewards program that they can go shop at over 140 common retailers in Australia and earn between 3 and 15% cash discounts that they can put towards their next rent payment. So what's critical here is it's a cash discount and there's no behavior change required for our renter. So if you shop at Coles, if you shop at Woolworths, Amazon, JB Hi-Fi, Bunnings, Myer, you earn cash discounts that go into your wallet that you can put towards your next rent payment. I think it's a phenomenal feature that is assisting our renters, especially given the cost of living crisis that we're in. Rents are rising, inflation's on the rise. We see this is a really good feature for our renters. And we've had a good take-up of our RentPay users using the PayLab and our rewards program. So critical here, cash discounts, and there's no behavior change required for our renters. And they put that money towards their next payment. So we're pretty proud of this, and it's a first in Australia that you can do this rewards program and put that money towards your next rent payment. So why is this important for you as an agency? We are compatible with all property management systems. So that means it's faster receiving, faster reconciliation for you in the back end. So we aim to cut down that reconciliation and that admin time drastically. We have automatic alerts, reminders, notifications built into the app and via email. Couple that with the more ways to pay, and this is our recipe for lowering your arrears or any arrears. And we're pretty proud of our cashbacks through Origin and our rewards program through PayLab, that those rewards get put towards the next rent payment, which is important. For you, the accuracy and certainty of receiving money how you want to and when you want to is really important. So that single daily batch file that gets processed to your account at 5:30 every afternoon, accompanied with the pay file the next morning, helps you with that reconciliation and receipting. So we put these features together, and what we are seeing really, really interestingly enough is that 20% of our user base comes off the street. So what we mean by that is they're not attached to an agencies that have signed up to RentPay. They have someone who's seen RentPay, on social media, or they've done their research and they want to find a different way to pay their rent. They sign up, they pay their rent through RentPay, and 20% of our customer base comes that way. And we see of that 20%, 50% of those users choose credit card to pay their rent. Now, we keep coming back to the credit card feature. And to clarify, this is not a renter going into debt to pay their rent. This is a renter who has the funds in a bank account who wants to shift that money onto their credit card to pay their rent. Again, we're a renter advocacy group. So we have all these renter-friendly features, and credit cards is a huge part of that. So again, with the alerts and reminders, we've seen a 50% reduction in arrears through our large property manager groups. For you, the simplified reconciliation and receipting. So what usually takes 2 hours to do can be done in 15 minutes. So on the left at the bottom, we see tenants paying into a trust account, either via BPay or direct debit. And in the trust account, you have multiple entries throughout the day that need reconciliation. RentPay sits in between this, and we offer renters different ways to pay, so they can choose which way they want to pay. Again, direct debit, credit cards, BPay, PayID, international wallets. RentPay clears those funds, so the dishonors sit with RentPay and not with you. So all the funds get cleared through our payment gateway. Once the payment gets cleared, every day they are batched and transferred in a single batch file to your trust account, which I think is important. So the dishonors sit with RentPay, so you will never have dishonors or clawbacks or unknown funds in your trust accounting or property management system. This is another benefit for RentPay. So if, for instance, a tenant is on a direct debit and misses a payment, RentPay will know that before you do. So RentPay's customer service team phones up the tenant and says, "You've missed a payment. here are the various ways you can make a payment. They catch up via one of the instant payment methods, credit card, pay ID, and they still meet their rent due date. And it clears through our payment gateway and it transfers over to you. So in that instance, just before rent due date, the customer service team at RentPay assists with chasing up arrears. And that's another benefit for you as an agency, that some of the inbound call volume from your tenants gets taken away from you and your property managers and frees up some of your time to focus on other value-adding services. So RentPay assists with that process. We have an agent dashboard. So when you sign up with RentPay, each agency gets their own dashboard, and it shows all the tenants that use RentPay, their address, their upcoming payments, their transaction history. You can have a lot of features in the or you do have a lot of features in the dashboard, like inviting tenants. Your pay file is delivered there. You can see all the activity of your renters, as well as their balance in their RentPay wallet. So it gives you a lot of detail and more information about your renters. We are integrated into Property Tree, but we are also compatible across all property management systems. So we have agencies who use Property Tree, Property Me, Console, all the range of property management systems, and we are compatible with all of them. What we find is the agency partners that we work with, we have a demonstrated office efficiency. So we cut down admin tasks from about 2 hours to about 15 minutes a day, and couple that with the support that our dedicated Australian-based customer service team provides each office. It takes away those inbound call volumes from your office and from your property managers. So we deliver value through simplified receipting, reconciliation, as well as taking some of those call volumes and the support provided by the customer service team. Focusing on how RentPay makes money. So we don't make money off of moving money. We charge a subscription fee. So there's two models on how we charge. The first one is a $2 per month per user transaction subscription fee. We don't have a transaction fee. So we charge $2 per month per user. For the renter, for the agency, it's free. Or the agency can choose to sponsor and subsidize that $2 per month per user fee. And if the agency chooses that, we discount that to $1 per month. So now you might be asking yourself, why would an agency subsidize the renters to use RentPay? We've seen with the larger agencies, it's a huge benefit to have all their renters using a system. By sponsoring or subsidizing that $1.50 for all their renters to get on RentPay, they're making sure that it's free for the renter to use RentPay. Then every one of them uses RentPay. The pay files are maximized in terms of their efficiency. The flexibility and the support that you get from the customer service team really bumps up, and you get more efficiencies through that. We also find that if you have a lot of renters using different systems, some on direct debit, some on direct to trust, some on RentPay, it becomes a lot more difficult to reconcile in the background. So we have agency partners who do both. So we have agencies that provide RentPay as an additional payment service, and their renters pay the $2 fee. But our largest partners who onboard all of their rent roll, we provide them a subsidized fee, and we charge them $1.50 per renter. Now, to put this into perspective, to get lower arrears, to get all the tools and tips in place for your renter, all the cashbacks and rewards. If you have a rent roll of 100, that's $150 per month. And that includes unlimited pay ID and direct debits. So that's a critical point, that we're not charging per transaction, it's a monthly fee. Again, we have testimonies from large offices around the country who have onboarded their whole rent roll and subsidized that $1.50. It just makes a lot of sense for the agency. And I spoke to an agency on Tuesday that they are being charged $1.50 per BPay transaction. So their rent roll was fortnightly, so they pay $3 per month for BPay transactions. So this effectively halves their cost. So it's a no-brainer for that agency to come on board. Now they're paying $1.50 per month for all their users to use RentPay. So they're really maximizing not only the efficiencies, but the cost saving against their current solution. We spoke a bit about this, and it's important to rehash. Our support team really offers a lot of value to all agencies. They're Australian-based, they understand the product, the service, they deal with renters and property managers, principals, agencies, and understand both parts of the market and provide service and customer feedback and help to each part of the market. They assist with rollouts, they assist with onboarding. So when you onboard to RentPay, the customer service team runs that process, contacts all the tenants, assists them with setting themselves up, and there's ongoing support from a dedicated account manager. Plus, if you are a user of rent.com.au, all your listings get upgraded on rent.com.au because you are a RentPay user. Just moving forward, after this webinar, I'll send you a copy of the slide deck, I'll send you a highlights brochure, and I'll send you a payment services agreement. Now, this is important. The payment services agreement is just a list of all the services we offer you. There's no lock-in contracts for the renter. There's no lock-in contracts for the agency. So once you sign that payment services agreement, we'll set up your dashboard. We'll provide training, we'll onboard and run the onboarding process. And once your tenants start using RentPay, you start receiving the pay files. And this could be as short as within a week that we could have you set up and running. We are also offering a June incentive. So any office that signs up in June stands to go into a competition to win $1,000 for the office that onboards in June, as well as there's a $500 prize to one lucky tenant who onboards and activates and pays their rent during June. So we're running this incentive, and this will also help you by getting all your tenants across onto RentPay. So in a nutshell, a summary: payment method flexibility, rewards, cashbacks, alerts, and more ways to pay for renter to keep them on track and up to date. For agents, it's all about easy reconciliation, lower arrears, less chasing tenants, more support from our customer service team, and upgraded listings on rent.com.au. So flexibility for the renter, accuracy, certainty, and simplicity for the agent. Over to questions. So I see we have a few that have come through, but I'll start on some of the emailed questions that have come through. So do agents get charged a dishonor fee when the renter misses a payment? No, the agency does not get charged a dishonor fee. What we do is the dishonor sits with us and the renter. Generally, if the renter misses a payment, there's a $15 dishonor fee. If that renter makes up that payment within 1 or 2 days, we usually waive that $15 dishonor fee. So you will never have dishonors once the money's transferred to you, or from the banking side. The second question is, what are the timelines for agents to receive rent payments? This is a big one. So if your rent is due on the Wednesday and your tenant has chosen to use direct debit or international wallet, we'll deduct from the renter's bank account on the Monday. It takes 2 business days to clear into our account. The money is transferred over at 5:30 on the Wednesday, and you'll receive the pay file 4:30 on the Thursday morning. If a renter chooses BPay, we take it out on the Tuesday. It clears Wednesday night at 5 or Wednesday afternoon at 5:30. It's transferred to you. Credit cards, Pay ID are instant, so they can be taken out on the Wednesday. cleared instantly through our payment gateway and transferred to you at 5:30 that day. So we try to minimize those timelines as much as possible. Direct debit just takes long because of the banking and the processing fees. Can renters pay other bills, or is it just rent? There's another question. So it's rent, utilities, and bond payments. If your agency doesn't receive bond payments, that's fine. They can still pay their gas and electricity and their rent payments. This is an interesting one. Does it make my PMs do any additional work? So the purpose of our integration and compatibility across property management systems is that it takes work away from the PMs, chasing arrears, making sure the renters pay on time, setting them up. We take on a lot of that work, and we process those payments, take on a lot of that work, and we take away those processes from PMs. Does RentPay work with trustless systems like Colmio or managed? Yes, we do. We work across property management systems, so we can pay into those systems like Colmio and managed, and we actually do at the moment. So we work across all those systems. Why should I care whether my tenants pay by credit card? Is that not a risk to me? So it's not a risk to you. The tenant is in charge, and they have the choice and the flexibility on how to pay their rent. For you, it's about accuracy and certainty and simplicity. So it's about less arrears. It's about the renter having a choice on how they pay their rent and earning credit card points. Have there been stories about rental systems using tenant data to make money? Do you? Big question. So no, we don't. Our being listed and being in the payments industry and being regulated quite heavily, we have banking grade regulations and compliance and systems. So we keep the trust of our renters and our agency partners very close to heart. So we don't on-sell, make money off data. Trust is a big part of our business, and that's what we focus on. I see a few have come through the Q&A. Are we compatible with RentPay? Yes, we're compatible across all property management systems and trust accounting systems. How do tenants get the invite? Is their reference number determined? Very good question. So the invite is, we have an onboarding process. The agency sends an email to all their tenants to inform them about RentPay. We send them a system invite. In that system invite, we manage it through you. So you can give us the reference, or we will provide a reference. Most of our partners give us the reference because that already fits into the property management system. So we set them up on the back end before they get the invite. So we know Shane is living at number 12. His reference number is 12345. So when I'm signing up, it'll automatically match Shane to the reference number. Is it suitable for private landlords, private tenant, as this is now more common, without going through an agent? So this is a common question that we have. We focus on agency partners because we need to KYC the renter, KYC the agency, and that's part of the onboarding process. So having said that, we do have some private landlords that go through an extended KYC process to sign up. We can deal with those processes and those systems and those questions as you're onboarding. We are flexible. We use a lot of tech in our space, so we can accommodate most requests. What happens if they are paying a water invoice, no rent? So they can go through RentPay and select a manual once-off ad hoc payment and assign that to water. It comes through in your pay file as referenced correctly for the amount. So they can make ad hoc water payments, gas payments if they will, and bond top-ups if that's something that you want to process through RentPay, as well as bond payments. Given the act in ACT last year, says you can only charge a tenant for rent. How do you get around charging them for a default fee? So the default fee is a banking and a dishonor fee. It's a transaction fee. We, as I said earlier, waive that fee that we get charged from the bank. We waive that fee if the tenant makes it up within a short amount of time. So we are renter friendly. We don't charge variable amounts. We don't add on to the cost base. We charge a simple, what we feel is very fair, $2 per month per user, not transaction based, or $1.50 per user. And we focus on being renter friendly, as well as helping you with accuracy, certainty, and simplicity in reconciling and receipting your rents, water, utility bills, and top-ups. I think that's it. I don't think there's any other questions. If you do have a question post this information session, please feel free to send me an email, shoot me a text, give me a call. I will be getting in touch with everyone who attended. So feel free to shoot me any questions or follow-up concerns that you may have. And I would really like to see you sign up with RentPay as soon as possible, and we can onboard your renters. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.